Hi, this is Pete with Wrap My Spyder. We're continuing on in our dash kit installation on the 2021 Can-Am Spyder RT Limited 3D domed real carbon fiber dash kit. The next panel we're going to be installing for you is our switch panel. In the dash kit, when you buy our 25-piece dash kit, the switch panel comes a little different than if you purchase it as an individual item only. So I have it positioned in place right now. The control panel has already been installed, but what we did in advance was we dry set the product, which means setting it in place with the backing paper on it. No adhesive is exposed, and we took a grease pencil and we made some marks to help us with alignment. So you can see the mark, we've got marks here on the left side, in the center, and on the right side. And so that's going to help us with alignment and positioning, because this kit, the switch panel, comes with the flags connected. On our other kit, they are separate to try to help with ease of application. But this is how our manufacturer made it in the 25-piece kit. So we're going to show you some techniques on how to apply this correctly and successfully. So we touch on surface prep in a lot of our products. Again, you want to be in a controlled environment, preferably 65 degrees or warmer. We're going to be prepping this glossy surface, which all of you know is super prone to scratches, and that's one of the reasons that we have this beautiful dash kit available. In your surface prep, the first thing you're going to want to do, of course, as always recommended, the 70% rubbing alcohol kitchen paper towel. You're going to wipe this surface down, making sure that it's free from any silicone-based products. When you think that it's ready to accept, we recommend that you do that masking tape test, where you stick the masking tape to it, try to pull it off. You can hear we have great resistance here. If you don't have good resistance on masking tape, you must continue to prep your surface. Very important. Key to a long-term successful install, as we've been saying, is surface prep. If you have a supplied adhesive promoter packet that comes with it, typically on these glossy parts it isn't as important as the textured parts, like over here or over here. That's important that you use the promoter. Not so much on the gloss, but if it comes in the kit and you wanted to, what we've been recommending for accuracy is you can, this pad is saturated with the promoter. You can get it on your fingers and just kind of wipe it into position as insurance. Even if you do just the outskirts, that's probably plenty of tack, especially with this glossy surface, because typically adhesion is not an issue once you do your basic surface prep. Now, a little bit different from our other switch panel install, because the flags are connected. We're trying to keep positioning for you as easy as possible without exposing all the adhesive on here, because this 3M acrylic adhesive is super sticky. So what we did is we took a razor blade, in this case X-Acto knife, and we cut a slit on this side and we cut a slit on this side in the backing paper. So this allows for the backing paper to be split now. So now you have two sections, right? You have a top and a bottom. Basically one going the direction of the flag, one going towards the solid area. And I think this is going to be the best way to do this piece, and trying to help you position it successfully. So we have the marks for alignment. You have to be a little bit careful with this section in here, especially if you're in a colder atmosphere. This material can be brittle, so the warmer the better for your install. Not too warm, because that can make it a little bit flopsy on you. So check your alignment. Like we had said, your surface is prepped, let's say, ready to go. Now you're ready to start your install. So what you're going to want to do is flip the panel on its face and take your two tabs and get them started. Just exposing as little as the adhesive as possible. And that way, if you have to pick up and reposition, you can do that right now, because this is your chance. So we're just making little pull tabs where we can grab the backing paper off the side. So we've got our adhesive exposed. See it? We're going to flip it over, trying to keep it so that you can still grab your tabs and get it into position. So we've got our marks, our little white marks. Our tabs are accessible, right? There's the 4 tabs. You're going to check your alignment for the bottom, which should run the leading edge of that panel, and then your left and right. So as long as your mark is even here and even over there, and you're happy with your placement, we can tack, just a light tack. The hardest part is keeping the tabs somewhere where you can grab them. Okay. Okay, tack, tack. This is just going to stay in position based on those being tacked. So this little piece is tacked, this little piece is tacked. Now that gives you the ability to work. So I'm going to, just for hinging purposes, to keep it in position, now that we have it where we want it, I'm going to pull down this side, get it tacked up to maybe the bottom of the control panel. Same on the other side, if you're happy with your positioning. Pushing it into place. All right, now we basically have a center hinge where we've got 2 sections. We have a top section to work with, bottom section to work with. There's our 2 tabs for the bottom. Here's our 2 tabs for the top. Okay, so we have what we're calling these is the flags, kind of shaped like that. So now we can work with this side only. So you're checking your leading edge of the gloss black, and you want to make sure that when you set it down that your flag is beyond the control panel if you have the control panel on, which if you're doing the dash kit, it's part of the kit and you're going to get it. So we can see that this will fall beyond. Now I will tell you, on some of them, like this one, it's tight on this side, loose on this side. You may have to bring the material back a little bit and slide it under this panel right here. So keep that in mind. Does it complicate the install? Maybe a hair, but you should still be able to get it. I suppose some of you who like to take things apart will take this panel off, but this kit, we've designed it so that you don't have to disassemble. So what you can do in addition is you can set it in place like this. So here it's beyond the control panel, nice and tight. It's running along the leading edge of where it needs to be positioned. We can, actually what I want to do, hang on, is I want to take my tab to the outside, like that. Now let's put it back under the panel, get it in position. There it is. Check your gap all the way around. We're beyond the control panel here. Now you can take your tab, if it doesn't break, and just basically pull it off and get it into position. So I'll take it down to there. We'll do it again. Make sure your tab stays on the outside. Get it into position, nice and tight. Can we get it out? No, it's going to fight me. Well, this is good because you get to see some of the things that could occur when you're doing your install. Okay, so we're going to expose the whole adhesive, right? We're going to tuck it under. I'm holding it up in the air just a little bit. Check your alignment if you need to. Push it into position. You're following the leading edge of that gloss black that's right here. Can you see that? Hopefully. Set it into place. Push it down. It's not as complicated. Now you have from basically here up installed. Let's go to the other side. And it's nice when we run into different scenarios because this is real time. And if it's something that could occur, let's have it occur in the video so you can learn from it. All right, I'm going to turn the handlebars a little bit out of my way. Make sure you guys can still see what you can. So again, you want to check your gap and positioning, making sure you're in place. That falls very beautifully right there. You can see how this one goes under no problem. So I'm going to, it's probably because it was so thin. Try not to put a lot of tension on this piece right here. This is what we were afraid of in the past. Okay. Exposing the adhesive, sliding it under the panel. I'm kind of holding it still in the air. Get it positioned, set it in place. And it is tucking underneath that panel nice and evenly. When you have it in position, go ahead and push it down. Beautiful. It's a little tricky, but I think if you take your time and follow the steps that we're doing here, you'll be just fine. So now we've got from here up, from there up. This is all tacked, ready to go. So now all we have is the bottom section. Let me bring it back down. Okay, there's our bottom section. You can see our two little red tabs so we can expose this adhesive. There's our marker for center that we had. You can check your alignment side to side along the bottom. Everything looks great because we took our time, we prepped our surface. Now let's bring this back. This is a pretty thick panel. So I'm just going to tack along the top. Okay. I only have the adhesive pulled down maybe an inch. And you can kind of work your way from the middle to the outside. This is ensuring you're not going to trap any air bubbles under your kit. So work your way from the middle to the outside, pushing it down. When you're in a surface area that's this thick, typically that red backer is not going to break like it did up here on the arms. So, you know, don't be too afraid about something like that. So I'm going to take the rest of it off, but I'm holding it in the air with my finger. And I'm still working down the middle and then to the outsides. Putting some pretty good pressure on it. And there it is. Switch panel, one piece, successfully installed. Hopefully you didn't think that was too complicated. I think if you have a helper or just take your time and have this video handy when you're doing your install, that you'll be just fine. That acrylic adhesive, it's bitey, so be careful, take your time, but wow, is that beautiful. Now, once you have it on, a little more insurance that this is going to be a long-term install that you'll never have any trouble with. We're going to use a heat source. Hair dryer is fine. Again, you're not going to over warm it, but you're going to warm it, and that's going to help activate that adhesive to get a real nice bond. So I'm using a heat gun, but like I said, you can use a hair dryer. We have a microfiber towel here, and basically you're just going to warm the panel. If it starts to feel rubbery under your towel, you've got too much heat, so back it off. Again, we're warming that panel just to activate that acrylic adhesive. And what a combination, huh? Hopefully you can see it, how nice it looks in the video. And this is a real carbon fiber. It has a top doming on it that really gives it a beautiful profile. In the light, it just looks amazing, especially when you're walking by it. So this really gives your bike an OE look when it comes to the dash, and just instead of having that, you know, glossy black plastic, here you have now a real domed carbon fiber product, It looks OE. It looks like something that would have come from the factory, don't you think? See if you can zero in. Yep. So just a beautiful product. This is part of our 25-piece dash kit that we offer for the Spyder RT. The piece that we just put on is a one-piece control panel that is only available in the dash kit as a 25-piece kit. So my name is Pete with wrapmyspyder.com. I hope this video proved helpful for you in having a successful install. You can see the little quirks of the material and what you have to do, but again, if you take your time, follow the video, you should have great success. If you have questions, don't hesitate to get a hold of us. If you've purchased the kit but you want to clarify something, feel free to give us a call or shoot us an email. We're happy to talk with you to help you through this installation process. So that was the switch panel. Like I mentioned, 2020 Can-Am Spyder RT and 21 limited, as well as the standard RT. And we appreciate you watching. And this is Pete with wrapmyspyder.com.